Well, last hour, President Donald Trump signed 2 more executive orders. He has now signed almost 200 since taking office in January for the second time. Both of today's orders are crime-related and come on the heels of Trump's controversial crackdown in cities that involved deploying the National Guard. The CBC's Lisa Xing is in Washington, and she joins us now live with more. So, Lisa, Trump targeted bail and flag burning with this latest round of signings. He took a lot of questions as well and spoke to reporters for a lot of time. What can you talk to us about what he covered off?
Yeah, Arthi, U.S. President Donald Trump signed several executive orders this morning around bail reform, asking Attorney General Pam Bondi to essentially identify jurisdictions in the U.S. that have eliminated the policy where people can be released without paying bail while they are awaiting trial. And the goal of that is to reduce the financial burden for people making their way through the criminal justice system. D.C. largely eliminated that practice in the 90s. Illinois has as well. Trump wants to reverse that because the way he's doing it is interesting, though, because he can't exactly mandate the states to do that. He's going about it by threatening to pull federal funding in order to, I guess, incentivize them to do it. In D.C., however, Trump has a little more power because it doesn't have a state government. Now, critics of the practice of paying for bail says it disproportionately hurts low-income people who don't have the money to pay to be released, and that crime stats show a small percentage of people are arrested for violent crimes while they wait for trial. However, on the other hand, supporters say it incentivizes defendants to show up to trial and that allowing them on the streets poses a threat to residents. So have a listen to Trump when he signed the executive order on why he wants to reverse this bail policy.
Somebody kills somebody, they go in, don't worry about it, no cash, come back in a couple of months, we'll give you a trial. You never see the person again. And I mean, they kill people and they get out. Cashless bail. They thought it was discriminatory to make people put up money because they just killed 3 people lying on a street.
So I've reached out to D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser's office. We're still waiting for a response from them. I should note Trump also signed an executive order to prosecute people who burn flags. This harkens back to the spring when people were burning flags in L.A. amidst the anti-ICE protests. Now, courts have upheld this as legitimate, the burning of flags under the First Amendment, including free speech. But Pam Bondi, Attorney General, said the administration will do it without violating those rights, though we don't have a lot of specifics on how exactly that's going to happen.
And Lisa, we also know, of course, Trump wants to send in the National Guard to other big cities. He was talking about Chicago. What's the latest on all that?
Yeah, this is all part of an escalation by the Trump administration to tighten control over several cities, including D.C. And others run by Democrats, Chicago and Baltimore, too. The White House controversially deployed the National Guard a couple of weeks ago, saying they wanted to fight crime, they wanted to deal with homelessness as well. Right now, there are about 2,000 National Guard troops in the city patrolling in D.C. And we now know that some of them are carrying weapons, but we're told that they'll be used as a last resort. Now, Trump is also threatening to send troops to Baltimore after this clash online with Maryland Governor Wes Moore. Moore had invited Trump to have a walk with him in the streets in Baltimore, and Trump lashed out at that, saying crime there is out of control. He wants to send in the National Guard troops. Also, Chicago, too. We're hearing that this is something Trump has been planning for several weeks now. Possibly they might be on the ground in September, but at this point, we don't know how many. And just remember, as I said, in D.C., Troop has more power here than in other states. So here's the Attorney General of Chicago, Kwame Raoul, on the fact the president can't federalize the National Guard unless it's for specific reasons.
The Posse Comitatus Act limits the ability for the president to federalize the National Guard. We don't have a foreign invasion. We don't have a rebellion.
So I should note that both in D.C. as well as Chicago, there are some people who do welcome the increased presence of law enforcement. But according to stats, Baltimore, Chicago, D.C., they've seen decreases in crime this year. Chicago's mayor, Brandon Johnson, says he will take legal action if Trump indeed does send troops to his city. And as I said, all of these are efforts by the administration to crack down on crime, illegal immigration, and homelessness. In the week the Trump administration took over the D.C. Police Department, the city did see in the stats a slight drop in reported crime, but a far larger increase in the arrests of immigrants.
Thanks for the latest on this, Lisa. That is the CBC's Lisa Shing in Washington.